responsible for the effects of my work.
Somehow you look responsible.
Don't know me too well too soon.
I'm here with Lucio Castro. After This Death is the movie. Lucio, first of all, I love the beginning of your movie because there's some atmosphere there in that cave with that woman and that musician that we don't know is a musician until after the fact that she learns. But how was to construct that atmosphere? It's a thriller, it's a drama, sometimes it's a psychological thriller as well. So how was to construct this atmosphere?
The movie starts because about a rumor I heard about my mother, after she died. So it's really about living with mystery, how to learn not to. You can never prove if something happened or not because it's all these versions of the truth. What is the truth? So I thought it was important to learn to live with mystery. There's mystery in life, and I love mystery, and I love when cinema also gets into mystery. And the most common genre to deal with mystery is the thriller, psychological thriller. It's all based. It's like the language of the cinematic language is based on mystery. So I approached this idea with that structure of the thriller. So then, just by a woman alone in the woods, it's dangerous. Especially if it's a pregnant woman alone.
So she's pregnant.
Yeah. And then entering a cave and someone else entering the cave. So already we are in a place where there's danger around it. And then of course the movie takes different turns. Hopefully it will surprise the audiences. But it was basically built on this idea of mystery and playing with it. The cave also, the movie I think has a little slight of a suspension. It slightly exists in a dreamy state, I think in general. Because characters are not judged what they do, in many respects. So I feel like the cave is also a sort of oniric place. The Plato and the cave. There's something very like the womb. There's something about a cave that already feels dreamy in a way. So if the first paintings were in caves, and there is an allusion to that in that scene as well. So I wanted to create start the movie with a sort of like we're entering a sort of fable or an Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. And it's very important to the film, the music, because he's a musician and he has a cult following. Let's leave it at that because it's a very dangerous cult following as well. So how was to build the music? Because if the music doesn't work, the movie doesn't.
Totally. Yeah. That was actually we started with the music years before we shot it. Also, the music defines. At first, it was no score, just the music of the band, and the music really defines the characters because I wanted a duo, but then we needed some drums because otherwise it didn't have any energy in the music. So we added a drummer in the band too. So they created, and the music had to be really interesting and good, but also not super popular because I wanted to give a cult status. So I know that everyone knows it, but the people that know this band love this band. They're obsessed with this band, as you will see in the movie.
Kind of Interpol like. The band,
exactly,
Paul, Sigur Rós, maybe something in that atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it was just building this sound that was interesting, but also not super popular. And then I wrote the lyrics, which is also the first time that I did it ever. This composer made the songs. And then once we got the movie in the editing room, I started looking at the images. I also thought that it needed some score, it was just the music of the band. And then we started adding some score to the movie, which was it's the first time that I've done that. With my third movie, Drunken Oaths, I also added a score, but that one's the first movie that I worked with score, which is really interesting. It's a different way of adding it. You add to the image and to storytelling. Music is very. It touches your heart. It's a very direct feeling, very emotional, this music. So it was really how to play with music, though it's not too emotional, not too oversaying things too much, So it was really interesting. But music, as you said, is key in the movie.
Yes, and the casting is key as well. Because if the lead singer, if Lee doesn't sell that. We don't buy them the movie.
Totally.
So how was to build with him that persona, that's Messiah-like character. So he has a long beard, there's a Jesus-like figure.
Totally.
How was to construct with him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a really amazing actor. He's someone that has like a big presence. Like he enters a room and he's just like some actors perform from a place of truth or quieter. He's an actor that has like he's like a big presence. Like how can explain it? So when he started, the only rehearsals we did with him are with music. So he really sings in the movie.
Oh.
He sings live because I wanted to feel real, and then it really came through him as a musician, and then the other scenes came through. I wrote the part for a much more like timid character, almost like a shy, reclusive part. But I realized that Lee is not that character, So it's like
He's bigger than life.
Exactly. So one thing that I learned from Truffaut, he said that when you have a character in your mind that you have for years, it's exactly how you want it. But once you have an actor, you have to let the actor take the character and then make something amazing with it, And that's really what happened with the character of Elliot. Lee really took the character and made it something much bigger. And that if you don't buy that, the movie doesn't work.
Yes, and the relationship with the two of them works as well.
Yeah.
So again, if that doesn't work,
Exactly.
the movie doesn't work.
Yeah.
So how was to construct this with her as well with him?
Yeah.
So they can have that chemistry, because that chemistry it's equal important to the movie.
Yeah, so they were actually friends because they were in the Twilight movie together, in two Twilight movies. So they're Lee and Mia were actually friends. So it was easy to. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was it was it came natural for them to to build the scenes. It was interesting because he performed Elliot in a different way that with me as a really old friend that I wrote the movie for her, so she knew this project very well. Lee came later on, so he took the character of Elliot in a very different way. So then with Mia we had to readjust Isabel, which was interesting too. It was a really interesting also challenge for a director. But then it was really great to see them both perform and play and be sexy, but also her understand that he's maybe someone that he's not what he says he is. She really needed to be in love, but also suspicious, or moved or hearing him. It's all very complex things that he awakens in this character, but they're both such intelligent actors that it was really fun to see them. Also, they're both actors that give you a million options. So it really, in the edit, we really build these characters because each take they will do something totally different, But it was great to work with really great actors.